played by National Master Belakis, our coach, online at a 2300 level here, and it features something that you will become familiar with called the Greek gift. So anyone already know what the Greek gift is? You do? What is it? Can you explain it? If not, we'll see it in just a moment. It's okay if you can't explain it.
It's like when black castles kingside.
Yeah.
And then you normally play bishop takes h7. Sometimes it's a knight, but most of the time it's a bishop. And then you play knight g5 check. There's different variations, but I'm going for the variation for king g8. And then queen h5. If the knight can't get to f6 safely, then mate is probably going to be delivered next move.
My friend, I think you need to come sit here and teach. What do you think? Very good. All right, so the Greek gift. So a little history. Why is it called that? Have you all heard of the Trojan horse? So this is something that happened in the Trojan Wars in Greece, where the Greeks built this horse and they gave it to the Trojans. And the Trojans were like, that's weird. Why are they giving us a giant statue of a horse? And they took it into their city. But what was inside the horse? Do you guys know? Warriors. And at night, the warriors came out and killed all the Trojans. So the Greek gift.
I thought they opened the gates and let all the other
and
then they burned down the city.
So the Greek gift, the point is, it's a gift that's not a very good gift. It's a present that ends up killing you. So what happens in this trap is that you give a piece, and that's the sacrifice that we were talking about, but it ends up killing you. So we're going to see that here in this opening. Okay, so here's how this starts. Opening move here, d4, d5, standard stuff. What is the move that usually happens at this point if you're playing white? 95% of the time. d4, d5, what's the next move?
c4.
c4, very good. Here it is. What is this called? Anybody know?
Queen's Gambit.
Queen's Gambit. And what is a gambit? A gambit is when you offer to give up something, right? So here, this pawn is just hanging, and white is saying, hey, you can have this pawn. You can have it for free. I don't need it. I have other plans. I'm going to do something else. So Queen's Gambit is what this is called, okay? And here, black played e6, rejecting the gambit. So this is the Queen's Gambit declined. Black says, no thanks. I don't want the free pawn. I know you've got plans. You've got tricks in your pocket. I'm not interested. I'm just going to play solid. Coach Bella comes out here with knight c3. Why knight c3, Coach?
We're just following the basic principles.
What are the basic principles, my friends? 3 things in the opening. What do we have to do? Someone give me one of them. Petru.
Lights out.
Knights out. Okay, so the first one is fight for the center. We already did that. Both players put pawns in the center. The second principle is develop your pieces. Put those knights and bishops on squares that fight for the center. Is this knight fighting for the center?
Yeah.
All right, what if Coach Bella had put the knight here? Is that fighting for the center?
No.
No, and look, this knight can only reach 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. That is not a good knight. But here, where Coach put it, it can reach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 squares. It's twice as powerful there, and it's fighting for the center. Look at all those squares it's fighting for in the center. All right, so do as the coach does. Opening principles. Play good chess. Yeah? All of you like the attacks. Right away, your queen comes out. You go fight, fight, fight. Wait, let your army come and help a little bit, okay? All right, black also does some developing. Knight f6. Coach Bella brings his other knight out, still following opening principles, knights and then bishops. And here, black is playing bishop e7. Why? What does black want to do? Yes?
He wants to castle.
And that's the third opening principle, right? Fight for the center, develop your pieces, and what's the last thing you want to do? Castle. And why do we want a castle? Gracie?
To make the king safe.
To make the king safe. The king wants to be tucked away here behind his wall of pawns with the knight there protecting, and it also activates the rook, brings the rook into the game. Because this rook here in the corner, is it doing anything? Nah, it's just sleeping there, right? So we want the rook to come into the game by castling so that it ends up there. Okay, good. Coach Bella plays queen c2. Now this is a little bit surprising. This is not quite beginner opening principles. The bishop is not moving. We're not preparing to castle. Coach, defend this move, please.
So this is one of my pet line or my novelty, I would say. Number 1, I want to surprise my opponent. Number 2, I want to prepare e4. Once I push the pawn up to e4, and black pawn will capture, and white knight will capture, my knight could get knight, and knight captures, and then the queen captures back. And what I want to accomplish is to trade his center pawn number one, but most importantly, to trade his knight, because when you castle, then that knight is your main defender of the king.
Guys, this is really important. This knight, if you're going to castle kingside, this knight is your most important defender. So, as white, if Coach Bella can get rid of that knight, this king is already weaker, right? There's already some tricks in the air. There's some possibilities that we can get to the king. All right, so queen c2, a little bit strange, but now you've heard the reasoning behind it. And black castles. Black says, doesn't matter. I'm going to castle. I'm safe. It's all good. No problem. Now, what did Coach Bella say that he wanted to do?
E4. Eliminate the knight.
There it is, e4, right away. He had a plan, and what did he do? Did he change his mind? Did he go do something else?
Nope.
Did he play a pawn on the side? No. And you guys, right, it's hard to form a plan, and often as lower level players, when we form a plan, then we get distracted and we form another plan. And then we have 3 or 4 plans, and then we get all messed up and we don't do anything, right? If you have a plan, what do you need to do? Stick with it, right? So Coach Bella had a plan, and there it is, e4. Let's see what black thought. Black says, sure, I will go in for this. Why not? Even trades, right? Pawn's gone. We've traded pawns. Exactly what Coach Bella wanted happens. Sometimes you get what you want for Christmas, right? There it is. Knight takes, queen takes, and here's exactly what we had. This knight is now gone, and the queen is here in the center. Yeah? Okay. Knight to d7. What did you think of this move, Coach Bella?
Well, the black wants to come and transfer his knight from the queen side from b8 all the way to the king side to f6 and to attack my queen, my centralized queen. The queen in the center is super strong. If black will not attack my queen will be way superior to the black queen, and my 2 bishops will line up against the king. And plus I have this beautiful center with d4 and c4, and behind these 2 pawns I can set up my pieces, my 2 bishops, and I can even long castle if I want.
Okay. Yeah, so this is exactly, look, black is a high level player too. Black knows that this knight is the best defender of the king. He's trying to replace it. Yeah? Alright, Coach Bella lining up the bishop and the queen. What is the threat, my friends? Does anyone see it?
Checkmate.
Checkmate, where?
On h7.
Ah, right here, staring down the barrel. Okay, and black is just in time. There's the knight. And what is the knight doing?
It's threatening the queen because now if she takes that pawn to put it in checkmate because of the bishop, the knight will just take it and black will win that.
Right, the
triangle.
checkmate is gone. If we try it now, we capture, the knight captures back, the bishop captures back, and we lose the knight, and we lose the queen and the bishop for a knight
After
and
the
a pawn.
king captures.
Is that a good trade? Queen and a bishop for a knight and a pawn? Is that good? Would you guys do that? No. Okay. I don't think Coach Bell is going to do it either. Or is he going to surprise us? What do you think?
What?
Oh, no, we didn't do it. Okay, so the queen moves over. Queen to h4. Now, this might be a little bit of a surprising move because this queen, is it safe here? What do you think? Is it safe here? Do you see any problems?
The bishop lines against the queen. If the knight moves to d5, no wait, that doesn't work.
So there is this queen has sort of stepped into a discovered attack, right? And it looks like, hey, if this knight moves, I can win the queen with the bishop. But can we really? Why can this not happen? Why can this knight not move?
The knight.
Because of checkmate.
Because checkmate is still there. Remember, it's this knight that is guarding against the checkmate. So if you move it trying to win the queen, you are just going to lose. Yes? Okay, so it looks like kind of a risky move here, but he's maintaining the pressure. Coach Bell is maintaining the pressure here, keeping the threats in the air. Let's see how black responds. Black plays h6. Now, this is a very strange move. Coach, talk us through this. What did you think when you saw h6?
Number one, I think black wanted to stop bishop g5 and knight g5 and control the g5 square, take the g5 square away from the white pieces.
Okay.
And number two, I think he wanted to move the knight away to attack my queen. But I was very happy to see h6 because every time when you push a pawn in front of the king, it's a weakness, right? So the pawns natural squares, the 3 pawns should stay on h7, g7, and f7. In this case, black pushed the pawn to h6, but that's a weakness, and I can.
I see it. I see it.
So Ben, you and I were just talking about this, right? Pushing these pawns in front of the king. Coach says, "Hey, I'm happy to see this because there's a weakness here." Now we know why Black did it. Black wants this checkmate threat on this square to go away so that he can attack the queen. He says, "I know how to do it. I'm going to move this pawn so I can move my knight and I can attack this queen." Now here, this was a very short time control game, and I think maybe in a longer game, Coach Bella might have played something different than he did right here. No? So you went for castle?
Oh,
Right? Castle
yeah.
first, right?
Yeah,
But we'll see. So okay, Coach Bella, castle, safety of the
that
king.
was why I think bishop takes h6.
Right. So, and here we have whatever c5. What is this trying to accomplish?
In
What
the
are we going
center,
for here?
Not really.
Nothing really. Right. Okay. Now we said that this game is going to feature the Greek gift, a present that isn't a present, or a present that is a very bad present. So here comes the present from Coach Bella to this player, and the present is, you may have my bishop. Merry
I
Christmas!
knew it.
Congratulations! What a nice present!
It's brilliant.
It's brilliant.
That's
Why is
good.
that brilliant? Why does just chess.com say this is brilliant? What makes a brilliant move?
Because it throws away the king's castle.
Okay, so it's a hard move to see, usually because you're giving something up, you're sacrificing something, but it's a very strong move because you're going to get something in return. In this case, what does white get in return? What is going to happen? Yeah.
The distraction of the castle, easy accessibility for the queen and an unprotected pawn.
Yeah, we're opening up that king, right? We're removing the protectors of the king. We're opening it up. We're taking those pawns away. We're saying, hey, you know what? We don't need that piece. Because if you look at it, how many pieces does white have? Where are black's pieces? Here, here, and here. Are they doing anything?
No.
Those pieces are not in the game. They have nothing to do with this. Where are white's pieces? Here, 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 here. Who's got more pieces on this side of the board? I'm going to do this, right? White or black?
What?
Alright, so we've got some initiative there. We've got some attack. Okay, let's see what black thought of this present. Black liked it. Black said, thank you so much for the free bishop. Merry Christmas for me. Coach Bella, you must not be a very good chess player. That is what black is saying, right? I like it. Alright, let's see what Coach Bella has to say here. Takes the pawn.
Yeah.
How's this king looking now for black? Strong or weak?
Weak.
Yeah, why is it weak, my friends?
Because there's nothing covering it.
Yeah.
There's no pawns. The
You can
defenders
go
are
like-
gone.
Kings
right?
are supposed to be
Maybe go
safe
like
in
knight
bunkers.
G5
That's right. Okay.
And threaten mate into
Alright, so we're hearing knight g5, okay? Now, the problem we still have here is what is this?
A problem.
That knight, right? That knight is still doing a pretty good job of protecting the king. Remember what we said? This knight when you're castled is the best protector of the king. Do
Oh, I know
you
what
see
you're
why?
gonna do.
Do you see why?
I know what you're
Hold
gonna
on.
do.
Do you guys see why this knight is the best protector of the king? Okay, so if that's the best protector of the king, what do we have to do?
Take it with the queen.
No.
Maybe we do have to get rid of it, right? We have to deal with it. Let's see what Coach Bella does. These pieces are not enough for checkmate yet because we've got other things in the air. So should we try to go for checkmate anyway?
No.
No, because they're not enough. What do we need?
Black up.
More pieces! Oh, black's move. Sorry. Here we go. Here
need
comes the rook.
cavalry.
Why is the rook coming into the game? Because we need more pieces. And actually, here, so that we don't lose it to the knight. Okay? Let's see what black does. Black tries to activate the queen. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Get the queen into the game so that I can come over here and try to help in the defense of this very vulnerable queen.
Not if it's
Okay.
cut off by the rook, because the rook moves up to where you said it, but cuts off the queen from going over there and attacks back.
Look at that.
Defending.
Attacking the queen, defended by the knight,
And
and
securing
ready
the center.
to come in and fight for checkmate, right? So let's see how black responds. I mean, this is lost. It's futile, but let's see.
Oh, good.
Queen comes back. Who knows why? And what happens next?
Checkmate, G5. Checkmate, G5.
GG.
There it is.
Win.
All right. What do you guys think of that game?
Great.
Pretty cool, huh? So that sacrifice, the Greek gift, you can look it up online, you can study it, you can learn the conditions that have to exist to play it. And then you can start to try to recognize that in your games. When can you give up a knight or a bishop on that side when the king is castled to try to go for checkmate? You can't just do it whenever you want. There have to be certain conditions in play. But that's something that you can study and you can learn. Any questions? All right, Coach Bella, any thoughts?
Alright,
Can we go play Big Shot?
so, in 1 second. So, mostly, the biggest lesson was that you surprise your opponent with Queen C2. This was a novelty, Queen C2, even at my level. And after trading the knights from the queen's side to the king's side, his king is not defended. He has to waste time to transfer his knight to defend his king. And then don't be afraid to sacrifice. Don't be afraid to give up a piece for 2 pawns, open up the king, because the king is always weak. Safety of the king is always number 1 in chess. And then you just lift the rook, and once the king is open, is really easy. Yes, black did try to trade queens, but it was a little bit too late because he just walked in on what I was
I
trying.
have a question, Bella.
Yes.
Why did he use A1 rook? Why did he use F?
I think you're correct, and I should have used this rook because, like Ephraim pointed out, everything is all about the king side, and I should have focused only on the king side since all my pieces are going towards the king. That's a very good question. But in a 3-minute game, you play by intuition. You don't have time to really. But that's a very good question. This was the correct move. Yes.
And I just want to point out, guys, not that you should play fast. You all play too fast. But Coach Bella has spent a lifetime studying and playing and learning, and he was able to win this game in 12 seconds, 22 seconds.
Yes.
All of this complicated stuff, right? Both players, look, black got checkmated in 30 seconds on the clock at a 2300 level. That's the master level. I'm
That's
sure.
actually less than a minute of game time.
I'm sure in less than a minute of game time. I'm sure that player sat at his desk and went, "How could I fall for a Greek gift at 2300?" All right.
I just want to say I'm really impressed by the questions you guys asked. You guys did a really good job. Give yourself a big hand.
All right,
Good
guys.
job. And you guys can go back to your games. Thank you.